be automatic. Those guys should know that, and they should be willing to give up their bodies and get on the floor and get the loose balls and get the rebounds.
Third quarter of the story right now as Orlando turned the 5-point deficit into the 3-point lead. We're underway in the fourth quarter. Doc Rivers calling out to Mike Miller, singling him out. We need you here. So in other words, don't want to hear about any ankle problems.
That's right.
Here comes Troy Hudson the other way. Great crossover. Oh, what a finish for Troy Hudson.
Talk about quickness. A little hesitation. Blew right by the defender and laid it in softly off the glass.
Covered some ground in a hurry. So Orlando draws first blood in the fourth. McGlure comes for the screen.
Another hard screen by McGlure.
And then the battle with Don Reed for position. Reed picks up the foul, his third.
Now look at this. Blows. Hesitation gets David Wesley off balance and then blows right by him. No defensive help. Nobody there in time to pick up Troy Hudson. Instant offense off the bench. He has been for the Magic.
Along the baseline, Lee Nalen, trouble with the handle. And stepped out of bounds. He was being harassed. I think it was Don Reed who just wouldn't leave him alone.
And they are out hustling Charlotte right now. Orlando has momentum, has the intensity, and they're beating Charlotte to the plate.
5-point game. Minute gone in the fourth. McGrady knocked away.
Hey, give me 1-5.
Magic will keep it.
11 seconds.
You heard somebody say, hey, give me 1 foul. You better be careful because the ref will turn around and blow a foul on you in that instance.
Hudson spun to the baseline. And a walk. Hudson had the lane. He had a clear path to the basket, but traveled. P.J. Brown with 4 fouls. Coming back in for the Hornets. Nalen will sit down. 10 turnovers for the Hornets to 8 for Orlando. Patrick Ewing now retreats back towards the basket. Inside. Count the basket. Jamal McGlure.
As he did in the first half, McGlure is providing some intensity and some aggressiveness off that Charlotte bench. He set picks all over the floor and aggressive hard picks. He set another one here and rolled to the basket, was open, caught it in traffic, went up strong, made the layup. Now he's got to make the free throw.
He does just that. 9 points, 8 rebounds off the bench for Jamal McGlure. And he makes it a 2-point game.
And he gives it to you when he's on the floor. Make no mistake about that. He gives you everything he has.
Miller, great height advantage, but throws it away. Picked off by Baron Davis.
Terrific anticipation by Davis. Read the passing lane.
Wesley had the shot, but decided to pull it out. Augmon against Miller. McGlure draws another whistle.
Interesting sequence that time for Charlotte, setting up non-shooters, essentially, in Stacey Augmon in post up. Augmon gave it up to McGlure, who was not really a fluid scorer by any means. It works out for Charlotte, and again, McGlure has made a difference coming in off that bench.
And tomorrow, 3 games on tap around the NBA playoffs. We will have that Laker-Portland game for you as the Lakers look to move on to the second round. They can do so by picking up Game 3 tomorrow to complete a sweep of Portland. Of course, the series shifts to the Rose Garden. Both free throws good. McGlure now in double digits. Could get a double-double with another couple of rebounds. It'll stay with the Magic as McGrady tried to score inside.
There's got to be something with that basket. Mark, we have seen more layups missed down at this end of the floor than you ever want to see in an NBA game.
Ewing open at the high post. Big rebound for P.J. Brown. Good hesitation. Davis lost it on the way in. Brown is there, in traffic.
Good work on the offensive glass by the Hornets.
Wesley knocked away by McGrady, gets it back. P.J. Brown Leads to McGlure, who dunks it on Ewing.
And that time, Charlotte out-hustled Orlando all over the floor.
Hudson strokes it from long range.
He's feeling it now, Mark. He's on a roll. No hesitation. When he gets the ball, he's looking to score.
It was a long 2 for Hudson. He has 7. We're tied with 9 minutes to play. Wesley left alone, and he rattled it in.
Boy, he took his time with that shot. He had all kinds of time. He measured that thing, made sure his follow-through was right.
He got the 3 down. McGrady the strong drive, and McGlure protecting the hoop. Foul goes against Jamal McGlure, but what a performance he has given the Hornets off the bench with 13 points and 8 rebounds. Playoff basketball, teams scrapping for absolutely everything. The Hornets and the Magic going down to the wire in Orlando. Game 3 of this Eastern Conference first round playoff series. You are watching the NBA on ESPN.
近的 NBA 篮球赛是由 Airwaves 超量无糖。
Exactly, and something that had to happen for Orlando to be successful. Other guys have got to make shots.
McGrady talking it in. He's got 28.
This is great a player.
And he makes it a 1-point deficit for Orlando.
Kind of surprised throughout this half, and actually throughout the game, Charlotte has really taken time getting into their offense once they get in the half court. And you see the shot clock winding down. It forces Charlotte into
play here in the fourth quarter. Orlando ball. Troy Hudson trying to make something happen inside. Oh, what a beautiful setup inside. All Horace Grant had to do was drop it in.
Yeah, that play was made by Troy Hudson.
Game. Baron Davis with McGrady trying to lock him up. Davis still pounding, 5 on the shot clock. Running hook, what was that?
Where did that come from?
I know where it went.
It went home where it was supposed to go, but that's a tough shot in a tough situation.
Just made that one up on the fly. 4-point lead. Garrity missed the 3. And it will stay with the Magic. Armstrong into the lane, sets up Grant. Nice fake. Touch pass, Garrity hits the 3. How about that from Darrell Armstrong?
Perfect touch pass to a wide open Garrity, and that's why Garrity is out on the floor, because he can make those shots.
He has Orlando back within 2 with 4:12 to play in the game. P.J. Brown trying to take advantage of Garrity at the other end, and does with the turnaround. Give P.J. a dozen.
He made that shot, but you don't really want to settle for a fadeaway turnaround taken by P.J. Brown, especially when Pat Garrity is covering him. You got to take that ball right to the basket.
McGrady, Baron Davis trying to keep him out. Tough turnaround for T-Mac, and he drains it 32.
McGrady gets that low on you and gets the ball, especially against Baron Davis, where he has about a 6-7 inch height advantage. There's nothing you can do about it. Just pray that the thing doesn't go home.
Here's McGlure working on Grant. Can't score in tight. Here come the Magic. The Energizer Bunny. Darrell Armstrong started that out. Armstrong open for 3. That one would have got this place rocking. Augment quickly up to Wesley. Wesley on the drive, gets past Garrity.
Good, strong move by David Wesley. Under control, smart, passed up the 3-point shot to take it all the way into the basket.
This has been far from David Wesley's best night, but right there, he delivered a key hoop for the Charlotte Hornets. It causes a timeout for the Magic in the fourth quarter, game 3. By 4 points, the Magic with the basketball. Davis and McGrady have been the top scorers for their clubs, but Jamal McGlure may be the spark for the Hornets. Pull-up jumper for McGrady. He's got 34.
He worked for that shot and patiently waited for it to develop for him. Got to step inside the foul line. Easy jump shot.
Double team out there for Baron Davis, trying to dribble out of it. P.J. Brown down deep, stripped away, but it goes right into the hands of Augmon. He missed the layup. And wait, a foul. It's going to go against the Hornets and Jamal Magloire.
Well, Magloire was in a tussle with Horace Grant. That foul could have gone either way. Both holding and grabbing and clutching. Baron Davis finds P.J. Brown. There's a foul right there that goes uncalled. Stacey Augmon misses the layup. And Magloire and Grant just working hard going at the ball. They missed the obvious foul, Darrell Armstrong fouling P.J. Brown, and then they call that. You got to wonder, but it's not easy wearing a whistle out there on the floor in a playoff game, especially one where bodies are flying all over the place.
Certainly looked like that last one could have gone uncalled. Two guys battling, falling, tangled up. That kind of stuff happens every now and then in the playoffs. 2:12 to play in the game. McGrady out top. Augmon poked it away. Wesley comes up with it and a foul against McGrady.
Now keep in mind, Augmon playing McGrady with 5 fouls on him, reaching and poking at that ball and gets away with it that time. But I wouldn't want to make a living trying to do that, poking at the ball on McGrady. Take a look here. Augmon is all hands in there where the ball is, pokes it away. Wesley comes up with the loose ball.
So McGrady reaching in for his 3rd foul. Wesley a miss at the line. All 9 of Wesley's points have come in the second half. Gets the second. A 3-point game coming up on 2 minutes to go.
Augmon, look at Augmon all over McGrady, even out at half court.
McGrady into the lane, sets up Hudson. Oh, nice fake to lift Davis, but can't hit the long 2. Darrell Armstrong battling for the rebound, and he draws the foul against David Wesley.
2 scrappers right there. Wesley and Armstrong going at each other, fighting for that key rebound. And that was a big rebound.
Darrell Armstrong shooting 2.
It'll send Armstrong to the line, where he is a brilliant free throw shooter, 89%. Here I go again, Rick. Good consistency for Armstrong throughout each of the 3 games in this series. That's 17. That's it. Oh, big shot for Stacey Augmon. He puts the Hornets back up by 3.
And that was a big shot, again, from a noted non-shooter, non-scorer. But yet he doesn't hesitate to take that big shot.
Oh, McGrady, tough pass. Hudson saved it.
Great save by Hudson, doing a tightrope on that sideline.
Inside, Grant couldn't catch it cleanly. McGrady for 3. Wow, did that one work out for the Magic? We are tied at 92.
Offense by accident. Doc Rivers knows it. But you know what? You take it wherever it is.
37 for Tracy McGrady. Davis gave up the dribble. Now it's Augmon. P.J. Brown against Don Reed. Under a minute. Tough fadeaway. And the rebound, Horace Grant.
Terrific block out that time by Horace Grant. Magloire really putting the pressure on the offensive glass.
Doc Rivers wants a timeout with 51.9 left. Tracy McGrady just tied it up with that 3 with P.J. Brown coming out to try and block it. 37 points for Tracy McGrady as the Orlando Magic is looking to take game 3 at home. Doc Rivers got to love it. When you got the best player on the floor, things can often work out in your fashion. Orlando ball, we're tied at 92. Charlotte with 2 full timeouts and a 20. The Magic have just a 20-second timeout remaining.
But if the Magic play this right, they'll get 2 shot attempts as opposed to Charlotte's 1.
Tracy McGrady could not finish.
Now, there's plenty of time on the clock, so Orlando will get the shot back. We'll get the ball back.
And the Hornets get it up across half court and call a timeout with 27.5 seconds left. So now the chess game moves to Paul Silas's side of the court.
Yeah, but they dodged a huge bullet because McGrady did a great job of getting to the rim. He just couldn't make the layup. And that's, you can almost pencil those in. Watch this right here, Mark. He gets into the paint, up to the rim. McGlure gives him a distraction, but how many times is he going to miss that layup? But again, it's another layup missed at this end of the floor.
That's right. Could be the deciding factor in the game right there, as McGrady had a chance to break the tie. Coming up tomorrow in the NBA playoffs on ESPN, we go to the Western Conference. Game 3 from the first round matchup between the Lakers and the Blazers. It's been all Lakers. They took the first 2 games in LA. Now the series shifts to Portland, where Rasheed Wallace and company, they have to have a response, or it'll be a Lakers sweep in the first round.
Yeah, for this last shot, how much time do they use up on the clock? Baron Davis has got to be in the thick of things, but you can't count on him taking the last shot. To tell you the truth, I really don't have a feeling or an inkling where they're going to go with this ball, except that you know that Baron Davis is going to have his hands on it. They don't really have great offensive players along with Baron Davis. David Wesley is the only other scoring threat.
Final 25 seconds. The Hornets
clear out for Baron Davis. 1-4 set. Let him go.
And he does go. Gets into an open P.J. Brown, who misses the baseline jumper. 10 seconds left. Armstrong falls. Could have been a travel.
Should have been a travel. Should have been a travel.
And they get timeout Orlando.
20-second timeout.
Wow.
What a good break for the Magic.
Is that what you call it? A good break?
Yes, because they maintained possession. Even though they had an opportunity, a scoring opportunity, they maintained possession and they have a chance to set up the last shot. Here he just simply slips. Now that, he covered some ground there. That could have been a travel call, but he wisely calls a quick timeout, and the official is right on top of it and calls. He could have lost that ball very, very easily.
Normally going from a standing position with the ball to on the ground would be a travel. Does he do that?
Well, look at how much ground he slides to. And, you know, that in a normal situation is a travel.
One thing they point to sometimes is an advantage gained by how far he slides, and I suppose that's up for debate there.
He didn't gain an advantage.
Right.
All he did was maintain possession, which was the key right there, and he called a quick timeout. Orlando with plenty of time on the clock, 8.1 seconds is an eternity to get a shot off, and when you have an offensive player like Tracy McGrady, there's no need to go anyplace else.
No timeouts of any kind for the Magic. They must get it in here. And I guess if you're the Magic, you're 1-1 in a series that you don't have home court advantage in when it starts. You got one chance to get it to T-Mac to win the game. You got to like your chances.
Absolutely. They passed him up. He had a shot at the ball.
Miller with 5 on the clock. Leans. Cannot hit. Still a second left and a timeout. It goes down to .1, but I'm sure the officials will put some more back on the clock there.
There's absolutely more time. Mike Miller tried to be a hero.
They had a chance to get it to McGrady there, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And Mike Miller coming off cold off the bench. That's not the time to try to be the hero. Get the ball to the money guy, and the money guy is Tracy McGrady, and you're right. They had an opportunity to get him the ball right out of bounds. He came up on the zipper play, what they call the zipper play, came up right up the middle, was open, out around near half court, get him the ball, get out of his way. And yet, you know, Mike Miller comes into the game ice cold and tries to be the hero.
Here's a look at that last play.
See, he tries to take it in. Plenty of defensive intensity. He had to shoot it, but, you know, in that situation, you've got to get the ball to McGrady.
Maybe lucky he didn't pick up a charge there.
Well, he could have. He could have, because David Wesley had great position defensively. Charlotte does a nice job. Look at Wesley, just stuck in there and took and held his ground. Once they couldn't get it to McGrady out of bounds, they forgot all about him.
They have put 0.7 seconds back up on the clock now, Rick, and of course that's enough time to get a catch and shot.
It is. It is. You don't have to have a catch and tip. You can catch and go up for a shot, but you better not waste a whole lot of time doing it.
And of course, Orlando will not have the luxury of being able to call a timeout after they see a offensive set here.
And also Charlotte on the road, so you don't have the benefit of a friendly timekeeper.
That's for sure. P.J. Brown is going to inbound it.
Well, it's 6'11". You know, he shouldn't have any trouble seeing, but they're not even defending the out of bounds.
Baron Davis with a look. Home! He banks it home! Oh, they're going to say it's too late. Baron Davis can't believe it.
And neither can Paul Silas. We're going to have to take another look at this one, and they're saying absolutely no basket.
It almost looked like he's saying you can't catch it and take a shot in that time, and that is incorrect.
You're exactly right. You can catch and shoot with that amount of time left.
It's not cut and dried. You got to let it play out. We'll have to see. Oh my, they're getting robbed here.
Yeah, well
Bernie Fryer has arbitrarily said you can't do it regardless of what the clock said.
Look up there, look at the clock up above the basket. That shot is in the air when the 0-0 show. That shot is out of his hands in the air when the 0-0 show. That's a good basket.
The Hornets have just had Game 3 taken away from them.
Watch again. The shot is up. You can't see it at that angle.
And Bernie Fryer immediately, as soon as he caught it and shoot, was already waving it off as if you can't do it.
Right. That's a mistake. We have not seen great calls in this game, and that one right there is a killer. That one right there is a killer.
Now there is a .3 rule.
Watch if we can see it above the basket, the shot clock. The shot is in the air when the 0-0 show.
Well, Bernie Fryer is going to have an awful lot of explaining to do. In our view, he is misapplying, or in fact mistakenly applying a rule that doesn't exist. Because watch him down here. He immediately waves it off.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, where's he getting his information? What's he watching? Who's talking in his ear saying that the clock is out? He had that. I think you're right. He had that set in his mind before the play actually developed. Baron Davis just catches and shoots, and the 0-0s are up there, and the shot's in the air.
Right now, the Charlotte Hornets have been robbed of a playoff victory. We're going to overtime where they're going to have a chance to pull it out anyway. But here's the clock right up there, above the basket. It's in the air at .3, .2 even.
Exactly.
It really wasn't even close.
Exactly. Now the question is, you know, obviously the shot clock is not the official clock.
That's true.
But 0.7 seconds is 0.7 seconds.
He got that off in a hurry.
He sure did.
Paul Silas just cannot believe this. I mean, he even manages to smile somehow, but I don't know how you...
sarcastic smile right there.
Incredible. It'll be interesting to see what the league office has to say. You never hear criticism of the officials coming from the league office, but this is one that if Orlando wins this game, we've got to hear something.
I don't think you will. The league office always backs the officials and allows them to make the call that they think is right on the floor.
Well,
let's see if they have enough left in the tank emotionally to take this off in overtime.
How do they respond? You count in the locker rooms, the Hornets should be up 2-1. And it will be Hornet ball off the miss. Wesley off the inbound. Rebound, Augment.
Looks like that end play has taken starch out of Orlando rather than out of Charlotte. Charlotte seems pretty determined to win it outright in overtime.
Aaron Davis had to be thinking, hey, I get that one off in time. That was a 3. It's a 4-point lead. Darrell Armstrong to Hudson. Hudson on the breakdown. Scoops it with the left. Rebound Davis. Wants to push it up. No numbers. Gives to Wesley. Wesley's not really feeling it today, so didn't force anything up, and they go to the post.
Measuring. Plenty of time for this 3. Uncontested.
27 in the game for Baron Davis. P.J. Brown fouled as he went to the hole. He went sprawling over a fallen Darrell Armstrong. That they know that
we've got to win this thing in OT.
So far, it's been all Hornets in the extra period. 1 of 2 on that trip for P.J. Brown, who has 13 in the game. It's a 5-point lead for the Hornets. Darrell Armstrong gets it to Grant. Davis the rebound. 13 boards for Baron Davis to go along with 27 points. He has 9 assists.
And out of the 50 minutes played, he's probably played maybe 48, 49 of them.
That 3 off the mark. 3.5 minutes to play in overtime. Minute and a half gone, and Orlando hasn't scored in the extra period.
Great job by Stacey Augmon defensively.
Sets up Garrity. Wow, what great fake and footwork. He stayed beyond the arc. That's a 3.
But even better, the patience that he showed to up fake and allow the defender to clear past him and then to take the shot. You know, the tendency is, boom, give me the up fake. Okay, the guy's up in the air. Now let me rush the shot and get this sucker off. But that didn't happen with Garrity.
Great job by Pat Garrity. P.J. Brown on the baseline. Hits the jumper. P.J. Brown, as always, quietly piling up the numbers. 15 points for quarter at times, and Tracy McGrady. It's a huge 3 there to tie everything at 92. And then this happened. Baron Davis wins it with a 3 at the buzzer, but Bernie Fryer says, no, he didn't get it off in time.
And take a look at the shot clock. When the ball is out of his hands, there are numbers still up on the shot clock. That ball was in the air when the 0-0 showed.
2:40 to play in overtime. McGrady and the Magic down by 4. Garrity tried the 3. Kept alive. Horace Grant kept it alive. Armstrong was fouled. It looked like taking a 3.
It sure did.
So now the Hornets with a chance to add to that lead. P.J. Brown out just almost to the 3-point line. What's he doing out there?
Another big-time shot by P.J. Brown.
17.
And those are not easy shots. You know, the 10 to 12-foot baseline jumper is a tough shot. And P.J. covering T-Mac.
Apparently, only number 5 as he stays in.
Yeah, that is key then.
Hudson the drive. Wraparound dish stolen away by Wesley. Ahead of the pack. Lays it off for Augmon. He was fouled, though, by Pat Garrity, who had tracked him down.
Yeah, you know, again, if David Wesley has that to do over again, he goes up for the shot, draws the foul, gets himself on the free throw line. Where's Troy Hudson going with this? He gets in the air, no place to go. Wesley anticipates, and Wesley should be able to out-sprint Garrity, but Garrity makes a great play to get back in it. Wesley should have gone up with the shot, but he still finds himself at the free throw line.
Bonus situation.
So
he would ball, but now down by 8. Game 3. They go to McGrady. McGrady in trouble, has to kick it out. And now a foul out near midcourt.
Which way is the foul going?
Wesley.
Call it against Wesley?
They are, yes.
That's another questionable call right there. Wesley made the deflection, is going after the loose ball. Let's take a look at this. He makes the deflection. Okay, all right, I see it. Yep, it can very easily be on Wesley.
Good angle there.
A great angle by the camera crew, and you saw Wesley just sort of seal off Armstrong with that lead arm to try and get a leg up on getting to that loose ball. Armstrong, for his part, also fouled Wesley, but the initial contact was made by Wesley.
For Charlotte, 7 points. Coming up on a minute and a half left in the overtime. Trapping pressure. Almost yields a turnover. Augmon along the baseline.
Well, it's a good different look by Orlando in that trap.
Records 5 assists. He's got 3 steals as well.
He's done a great job on McGrady. He really has. He's just forced McGrady to earn everything he has gotten. McGrady's got some gaudy numbers today, but Augmon has really made him work for everything.
11 for 25 is McGrady. 13 of 16 from the free throw line. So he definitely, and he has missed his
the momentum, and you got everything going your way, and you allow them to get back in the game when the clock is not even running.
6-point game.
David Wesley almost wound up with an 8-second call in the backcourt.
Baron Davis at the free throw line.
Obviously, you know,
and he gets them both.
And a lot of minutes he has played today.
Over 50. Final minute. No basket there. The foul happened before, and here we go again. Rick, what's happening?
It's not smart basketball at all, Mark. You cannot commit foul.
Hudson gets the first. Is trying to make it a 6-point game, which would bring it down to 2 possessions. Hudson up tight on Wesley. Only 8 seconds to get it across half court now. He does. Under 50 to play.
Now, Orlando doesn't look like they're going to commit a foul. McGrady's looking for instructions from the sideline. Straight up.
Baron Davis sizes up the 3. That should do it.
Put the wooden stake into the heart. Just drive it home.
Well, Baron Davis thought he had this thing won in regulation, and now he's going to make sure of it. Didn't use the glass that time, but that 3 gives Davis and the Hornets a 9-point lead in overtime. Hudson can't hit the 14.
Yet, you know, nobody's complaining about Baron Davis shooting 58% from the line. Now,
10-point lead. And at this point, the Magic appear like they're going to let this one play out. As well they should. So in the end, justice appears to be done. The Charlotte Hornets appeared to have a victory snatched out of their hands by Bernie Fryer, waving off a 3 by Baron Davis at the regulation buzzer. And in the end, Charlotte dominates overtime, and they take game 3 anyway.
And you're right, they deserved this. They played harder in the overtime and made the big plays when they needed to.
So it is Baron Davis, 32 points to lead everybody. And Charlotte looks like they had